Oi, we are warriors. Right, Toby Jack on the check-in just to give you some little introspective history upon my love for Brazil, seeing my roots in Brazil. It comes through music, because music is a universal language. And when I was a teenager, coming up as a young bass player, my aspiration was to play bass and travel the world. Well, in my studies at that time, I looked upon some of the great masters of bass playing, Jaco Pastorius, Victor Wooten, Marcus Miller, the great, you know. And one in particular, a brother by the name of John Patitucci. I listened to his album, Mr. Afina. And I don't know how I get to know about John Patitucci. It's just like the community of musicians I grew up with in New Jerusalem, you know? Great company and great schooling. But somehow I end up at Bass Day 98. I was there, I was 17 years old. Matter of fact, you hear me yell out in the crowd when they were doing the jam at the end.
Hey, Victor!
That's me. But I met John Patitucci. I met some of the greats in that occasion, which transformed my life. Even as a locksman, Victor Wooten was one of the first people who inspired I to locks, because I was afraid. When I went to Bass Day 98 and this man had locks, I was like, okay, yeah, don't be afraid. You know, I just needed to see it in our time. You know, nobody had locks in no time. But brother John Patitucci album, Mr. Afina. That album is one of the most beautiful piece of music that I have ever heard to date. And the cast of musicians from Brazil that are on this particular album, excelente. Tamasa. Yeah, we just say it, Tamasa. Yeah, Prasima. So that was like my introduction to Brazilian music. And then in time, when I graduated from high school, you kind of expand. You know, when I went to college is when I learned about like Jobim and Gilberto Gil. And by meeting my big brother, Mr. Kamal Farid, aka the Abstract One, Q-Tip, who recruited I and I as a young bassy. How old was I then? 18 years of age when I met Tip. And one of the things that was most impactful when we meet was the amount of music this brother know and put me up on. And he took me and my brother Chris Scholar, went to go check out the Mingus Big Band in New York, and afterwards went right across the street to Tower Records, and this brother bought all of us a bag full of CDs of music that we could check out. And one of them piece of music that he gave I and I was Milton Nascimento. Tamasa. Long live the legend. This is brother Toby Jah saying love to brother Milton Nascimento. One love, yeah? One world. And I think Los Borges, who I think, if I'm not mistaken, just transitioned, that beautiful album that they did together with the two youth on the cover. Forgive me for not know the name of it offhand, but that is one of the most beautiful albums that I've ever heard. And I remember with the band, when we were working with brother Q-Tip at the time, and Sister Son, and brother Kelvin, Solar, Blake, we all was together just listening to this music, and we be all in the living room dancing and just taking in this sound, this beautiful, beautiful music. So I'm on Brazil a great debt. That's my little 5-minute synopsis. But even to all now, you know, my tour in Brazil 2023, 2024, I have to say Prasima to all of the musicians in Brazil. Is one love and one heart when it comes to that. The amount of musicianship and talent where is there. From Africa to all the diaspora, and to where we are now, the unity of all nations coming together to sharpen and learn from one another. That's what we say, got to learn, yeah? More love and more unity, Brazil. Prasima, Tamasa, Rastafari. Brr.